What's up, everybody? Welcome to Podcast Now Plus. I'm Alex, and in this video, I want to talk about the new gameplay of Crash Bandicoot 4, It's About Time. So, obviously, certain members of the media got to play this game yesterday around morning time. This game, there's a bunch of new gameplay, 2 new levels, obviously shown. Also, Cortex's, version of that. Now, I was not, like, a media member, so don't get worried about that. I didn't get to play this, but I watched Game Informer play it and talk about it. I saw PlayStation Access, obviously, with Rob talk about it, and I kind of just want to give my impressions of what we've seen. A lot of people are talking very, very highly about this demo, and I cannot agree more. I truly think that's the first thing we should say, right, is this demo looks like just Crash Bandicoot, like the best way you could possibly make it. Crash, for me, has been one of the most, important gaming, I guess, people or, again, franchises that I've ever, experienced. Crash, I grew up with Crash, I grew up with Sly Cooper, I grew up with, Destroy All Humans. These are the games that make up my childhood, and honestly, the fact that we finally got to do this, you know what I mean? The remakes were awesome. The Insane Trilogy is awesome. Team Racing is awesome, and for it to finally pay off where it's like, okay, we knew back then that they were testing the waters. Do people want a new Crash game? So the only way you can test that, right, if we want to make a new Crash game, the only way to do that is to see if people like Crash anymore, right? Which obviously is a resounding yes, and people said yes, and then this is what we get, right? So we as kind of a community, the people who bought these games, really, the people that have supported them, the people that watched the videos on them back with the Insane Trilogy onward, right? We have made this happen, and to see a game that I think nails it so well is really gratifying, because this is a game, I think it looks absolutely incredible. You saw, again, if you saw the PlayStation Access, Rob talked about how there's nods to the past, how it's good to be back, right? And honestly, all of the new things that you're able to do in it. So, I mean, visually, it's incredible. The level design looks like it's really, really good. Seems very, very difficult. You're going to die a lot, which obviously, harkens back to classic Crash, right? But even all the newer stuff, like these powers, I'm not saying I was always against them or I was against them at any point, because when the trailer came out, when they talked about how, hey, there's going to be new masks that grant you new abilities, I was never like, ooh, you know what, I'm a little worried about that. No, I always assumed it was going to be really, really good. I always thought that it was just going to all work, but I could see how maybe somebody could say, well, you know what, there are ways you could do it wrong. Maybe these powers are lame. Maybe they're like cheap gimmicks, stuff like that. And now we actually see them in action. And no, I mean, again, for people that thought that or people that still think that, I think these masks work, insanely well. I think the powers that they're able to do really do enhance the gameplay. I think that is one of the better ways of saying it. You see when he's kind of like sliding down and you're able to phase in and out, all these different kind of things, being able to slow down time, and really anything Cortex can do, I think, is really, really cool. We've never really been able to experience something like that. So it seems like the gameplay, again, very, very classic, while at the same time making a lot of new innovations. And you gotta, I feel like a game like this, you do kind of judge differently than other games. I mean, the point of this game, I mean, it's kind of meta, right? Because it's Crash 4, It's About Time. They're forgetting some Crash games. It's literally like a pun about talking about how, it's literally been long enough since we got it. I feel like you do have to judge these in the collection of Crash games. And not even that, I think when people play this game, there is just such an emotion and a connection to it, because we've done this before and we've experienced things with Crash before throughout our lives, right? So again, some people maybe grew up with him. Maybe some people were turned on to Crash for the first time ever with the Insane Trilogy. But we're back. It's supposed to be, better than ever for the most part, right? New things, new levels, new areas, all this new stuff, but also feeling very much like Crash is supposed to feel. And I think as long as it does that, that's the biggest thing with a game like this. I think the remakes, obviously, when you remake something, you obviously have a set of goals that you have to accomplish. When you're doing this, I mean, your goal, I think, is to continue to capture the magic of the past games, make a game that feels worthy of being in that collection, right? Even though it wasn't made back in that time, make it updated for the year that you're in, get the people that played the old versions, and get brand new people. Honestly, very similar to a remake, but obviously you're making a brand new game this time. And honestly, from everything we've seen so far, people are saying this is going to be an amazing. There's a lot of people that got to play this game. There's a lot of people that say a very, very. I haven't seen anybody really say anything negative about this game. Now, for the most part, when you have preview events, when you have people that are able to play something that the company lets them do it, not often are you going to get people say bad things about it. Most times it's all positive, and you only get negative things when the game comes out. So you do have to take that with a grain of salt. Nobody's really going to to badmouth them now. For one, they're the ones who literally were given access to it. I don't think they would kind of go against them and do that. Now, again, does that mean there's biasness? Does that mean there's this or that? I think there could be, but at the same time, for a game like this, I mean, it doesn't really matter. I think there's probably not a lot of negative things you can say based on the small amount of stuff they were able to play. I mean, there's not that much. It was 2 levels. It's not super long. The videos, covering it are not very long. Even people like actually like basically just showing you the gameplay throughout the entire levels, they're not the longest things in the world, right? I mean, Crash levels never are the longest things in the world, but really, really exciting to see it come back. Obviously, early October is going to be absolutely insane with all the different games coming out, Crash being one of them. I cannot wait to play this myself, but seeing it again, seeing more levels this time, seeing different things going on, seeing people be able to actually, again, could there be some biasness? Maybe, but at the end of the day, these are people that were able to get their hands on it, right, and actually play it, which other people like myself, right, we can't even say that. So to hear and see that people are playing this game, just the fact that that's happening is amazing, and then the fact that they really, really like it, definitely good. So I cannot wait to play this game in early October. So guys, let me know in the comments below, what do you think? Did you like the new stuff we saw of Crash? Do you think they're going to be able to pull off a brand new game? Let me know. As always, make sure you guys subscribe to this YouTube channel. Hit the bell icon so you guys know when these videos go up, and I do a brand new video on this channel every single day, and so I hope to see you guys for tomorrow's video.